Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Today we are talking Tranexamic Acid, one of the true unsung heroes of the skincare world. If I was to tell you there was a product out there that could help tackle your hyperpigmentation, brighten your complexion and tackle acne scarring, you would be all over it. So why do we not talk about Tranexamic Acid enough? Well, we're putting that right today and we're going to pick it apart. I'm going to be sharing with you how it works, the benefits you can expect to get, how to incorporate it in your skincare routine, and also the best Tranexamic Acid, including products that are on the skincare market. So if you want to find out a little bit more about how to incorporate this into your skincare routine, keep on watching. Tranexamic acid actually arrived onto the skincare market quite late, and it was one of those ingredients that was discovered by accident. Like so many of our other skincare ingredients, it was discovered when people were being treated for excess bleeding, which is what tranexamic acid orally is great for. They found whilst it also stopped that excess bleeding, it had some benefits in terms of the hyperpigmentation and the ability to prevent that pooling of melanin and the pigment in the skin. This was when it was then developed into a topical treatment, and we can find it in quite a few skincare products today. As an ingredient, it's not widely understood, and so you don't see it in a lot of skincare products, but I've got my cult favourites later on in the video, so do not worry, you don't need to miss out. Let's start by how it actually works and will benefit our skin. I see so many videos on tranexamic acid that just blindside you with the science. You just feel totally overwhelmed. And so hopefully I'll just keep it simple and let's just go over the basics. First and foremost, it's an anti-inflammatory. This is so important because inflammation is like the #1 enemy to people suffering with hyperpigmentation. If you've got inflammation in the skin, this often triggers a reaction, a defense mechanism in the skin, which is to produce more melanin, which is that darker pigment, which then starts to pool in our skin, giving that uneven complexion. If you're suffering with hyperpigmentation, anything you can do to dial down the inflammation in your skin is going to help eradicate that pigment quicker and stop it reforming and pooling again. Tranexamic acid's #1 benefit is in its anti-inflammatory ways, and it's just such a good way of dialing down any sensitivity, redness, but also that hyperpigmentation. It also works by preventing the pigment from forming. So with two ways of tackling hyperpigmentation: reduce the amount of pigment that's being formed or increase the rate at which the pigment is expelled from the skin. If you can find a product that does both of these things, win, ding, and tranexamic acid is that product. First of all, it stops the production of that melanin going into hyper overdrive. When our skin feels triggered, its defense mechanism is to increase the rate of turnover of that melanin. And so it goes into hyper overdrive. Tranexamic acid helps to dial that down and reduce the rate of pigment being produced in the skin. When you eradicate pigment, it's not produced and replaced in the same quantity, which gives over time that brightening and that reduction in dark spots and hyperpigmentation. It also increases the rate at which pigment is expelled from the skin, which again is another great benefit because you're tackling it from both ends. It will also have an improvement as well of how pigment is transferred between the different elements that sit below the skin, and so you're not going to see that pooling in the same effect. It's got those 4 mechanisms of action which are just going to help overall brighten the skin, tackle that hyperpigmentation, which includes post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and post-inflammatory erythema, which 2 different things, but manifest in similar ways, and also it's going to help fade any acne scarring. So far, so good, and you're probably going to be quite convinced to give this a try. The good news is it's applicable to just about every single skin type. It's not something that needs to be used in a low pH, so it's not going to be too sensitizing and triggering for people that have very sensitive and redness-prone skin, but also you can find the right solution for you, which is going to fit your skin type. It works in just about every emulsion. I would go for something in a cream base personally, or in an emulsion, because that's where the scientific studies have shown it to be most beneficial. But you can pick the right one for your skin types. If you've got acne, there's one for you. If you've got super dry skin, there's a cream that's going to help offset that. Before we get into my absolute favourite holy grail products, I want to call out a couple of notes. If you look at the scientific studies, it's shown that at a concentration of 4 to 5%, tranexamic acid is actually as good as hydroquinone at tackling hyperpigmentation. If you had persistent hyperpigmentation, people used to rush for hydroquinone, but this had so many side effects. It could thin the skin, it could cause sensitivity, irritation, it could also cause rebound pigmentation, which is when after it's cured, it then rebounds almost as bad, if not worse, than what you had before. And this was always a reason why people were so dubious about wanting to try hydroquinone. Well, this doesn't have any of those side effects, but it will give the same results if you you're using a 4 to 5% concentration. Not all brands disclose their concentration, but more importantly, some do, and I'll be sharing the ones I think meet that requirement later on in the video. It's also proven to have extra benefit when it's used alongside other pigment correctors and brightening agents, such as niacinamide, alpha-arbutin, azelaic acid. All these things can be used alongside and in conjunction with tranexamic acid to really maximize the benefits. Because it pairs so well with other ingredients, you don't have to worry about what to sit it alongside. It's one of those that's just beautifully flexible, and you can use it just about anywhere in your skincare routine. When it comes to applying it, I use it a couple of times a week. It's not an ingredient that I use every single day. Though of course you're going to want to match that to your own skin type, and I would always say, like any active ingredient, start gradually and build up from there. Follow the instructions on the back of whichever product you use, because that'll give you directions based on the strength, the concentration and the formula on how often it should be used. Now, let's cut all that waffle, and I've sold you on tranexamic acid hopefully, and let's talk about the amazing products that include it. I've got a little bit of a price point for everyone, so hopefully whatever your budget, there'll be a product out there for you. The one that I reach for time and time again is the Inkey List Tranexamic Acid Overnight Treatment. The reason I love this is A, it's got tranexamic acid in, which is the whole purpose of this video. The price point is so affordable, and tranexamic acid isn't a really expensive ingredient to formulate with, so you shouldn't be paying over the odds for it, including in your skincare routine. And this is a beautifully affordable drugstore product. It's also got vitamin C in there. I talked about how it's best to pair your tranexamic acid with another brightening ingredient to maximize the benefits. So you've got your vitamin C in here to boot. This is a really rich cream that acts as a moisturizer, so I've got oily skin, I don't feel I need to use a moisturizer after this. I use this as my moisturizer, and it's an overnight treatment. So you put it on, it won't disturb your makeup because you're not wearing it in the morning, you're sleeping it off, and we wake up, and honestly, you wake up with a really good skin day. Super hydrating, and I've been using this probably for the past 6 months, and I've noticed a real difference in my hyperpigmentation. They don't disclose the concentration of this product, which I think is a shame, but I do feel it's giving me benefit, so I would definitely recommend this if you're wanting a super affordable drugstore option. This comes in a water-based cream, so whilst it won't be the most effective in terms of its formulation, it will deliver really great results at a beautifully affordable price point. It's cruelty-free, as are all of the recommendations I'm making today, and I definitely think this is one that you should look at if you're looking to start your tranexamic acid journey and you don't want to break the bank. If you want a product that has a guaranteed percentage, so full transparency, the brand has put that percentage on the bottle, I would reach for the Exaglow Serum by Face Theory. You guys know I love Face Theory. I did a recent review and haul on them, which I'll leave a link to up there. Definitely check that out because this brand is one of my holy grail favourites. Their Exaglow Serum is a recent launch from them and is so good. This is a 5% concentration of tranexamic acid, and it comes in a really nice serum form. It's also formulated with licorice root, which is a natural brightening botanical. So again, we talked about pairing it with other brightening agents. This has this, which is really great. Beyond just having that great blend of tranexamic acid and licorice, it also has vitamin C in again, which is going to give another brightening element. This is a true powerhouse brightening serum. They do say you can use it every day, though again, I would build up to this, just because, you know, it's got some active ingredients in here and you don't want to stress out the skin by loading it onto the skin day after day. So build up your tolerance to it. This is a product I'm probably going to switch to in the coming months because I've been getting some great results from the Inkey List, but I want to just kick it up a notch. I'd say this is taking it up a notch from my Inkey List recommendation. It is a beautiful product. Slightly more expensive, but I do get a discount code with Face Theory, which I'll leave on the screen there, which gets you 25% off. It's not an affiliate link. I don't get any coin for it, but it will save you some money. So if you're looking for, don't mind spending a little bit extra, but you want that extra powerhouse treatment and get the maximum benefit from your tranexamic acid, this is the one that I'd recommend. Quite a lot of people will say they'll reach for their SkinCeuticals discoloration treatment. I wouldn't personally recommend this. First of all, I haven't been able to verify whether SkinCeuticals are cruelty-free. I suspect because I can't that they're not, which is why I won't be recommending them. But beyond that, this is an example of how charging extra for a price which for an ingredient which is really cheap to formulate with just doesn't justify that price point. So they want to charge £89 for this. It's got a great strength of tranexamic acid in, which should be applauded, and it does have some other brightening elements in it too. But I don't see any benefit from reaching for this and paying the extra price point beyond what you get from the Face Theory Exaglow. So whilst this has traditionally been the reach for people that want to have tranexamic acid in their skincare routine, I don't think it's justifying the price point that they want to charge, and this is one that I'd probably stay away from. There are a lot of over-the-counter and super affordable drugstore ones that you can find. I would, again, just make sure that you see the concentration. There's nothing wrong with buying tranexamic acid online and having a look at the concentrations, but just make sure that they've been transparent with that concentration. It comes from a brand that has a money-back guarantee and some reassurance for us as consumers. I hope that in 2021 we'll see so many more brands use tranexamic acid in their skincare products. It's one of those unsung heroes, like I said before, but it's getting much more popular. So I can see this along with azelaic acid, which I also covered in a video I'll link up there, because these two are like powerhouse couple. These are like the dream powerhouse skincare couple. I definitely recommend you use together. I hope that more people and more brands start to use tranexamic acid this year, and we'll have much more options as consumers. Because so far, those are the two brands that I've actually been able to reach for, verify, and test on my own skin. So leave me a comment below if you've used tranexamic acid in any other form, what your results have been, and of course, any other brands that you want to recommend. Hopefully you found this interesting and you kind of understand a little bit more about tranexamic acid, how it works without blinding you with science. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you much more recommendations in the future, and I'll update this video as I have them. But wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.